Hi, I think I am live. This is the first time I'm going live through my laptop, so I really am figuring out how things work here. I'm also 5 minutes early, so I gave like a 10 o'clock time and it's just 9:55. Okay. Hi guys. Hello. Okay. Should I wait like for 10 o'clock? I don't know because I gave a time out there of 10. Or I'll just okay. Where is the sharing link here? Okay, got it. Hmm. It's okay. I don't think I want to share as such. Hi guys. So what's up? This is forum, and I generally never come live because I am too anxious of a person, and I feel like anything I say will probably sound wrong to somebody, and it will. But that bothered me for the longest time, and yeah, so I stopped like having lives or never did live, and I'm also a little socially anxious person, so it makes me a little awkward talking here in camera. But then I really wanted to talk about this particular thing, which I've been told that I need to like speak more often about. And so I thought that I want to keep it as raw as possible rather than filming it and then editing it and then rethinking that do I want to say this or should I cut this part out, should I edit this part out, and not speaking about it. So I decided let's just do a live, like literally this is like a version of me, I don't know, like sharing all my feelings out that I have kept inside me for the longest of time. And also I feel it's something that something that's not been talked about more often. Initially this live was not supposed to be a little of this, um I don't know, like serious. It's not that serious, but it is of some serious topic. It's not a fun life. It's not like I'm gonna play games or like stream games or talk about like fun, exciting gossip and give you all some tea. That is not happening here. This is basically just about me and my life and where am I at and what's just happening, because I see that what I was going through, I don't think I found enough information on the internet about it. And so I think this is just probably my way of, I don't know, like giving more information out there. But yeah, I mean, let's just like talk about the main thing that I'm going to talk about. I'm basically here to like probably talk about anxiety, how I got or got diagnosed with anxiety, and how I am currently dealing with it. So, hey guys, hi, thanks for joining. So, yeah, that's what this live is going to be about, and I want to keep more, like, keep doing more these lives. Um, because I want this feeling that whatever, like the feeling that I have to come out pretty much like raw, and I do not want to script it. I do not want to like just fake it or give you like all those things what everyone else is literally speaking on the internet. I want to like let it come out from my personal heart. And I know like people watch live streams and people do want to like know what happens or what is anxiety and what happens when a particular person suffers like through one. So yeah, I'm just gonna like dive deep into it. So yeah, this is the part I would usually cut in while filming, but since I'm keeping it raw, anyway, yeah. So yeah, I have anxiety, and I won't say I am an anxious person, because that's just me identifying with my anxiety, and I am a different, whole different person from anxiety. Anxiety is just an emotion, and it's not my personality. It's entirely not my personality. And honestly, I don't want like this page to be about like me as a like a girl with anxiety or something like that. I don't want that, which is why I want to like do this live and like talk anyway. Fuck it. So um yeah, the reason why I decided to do this and speak more about this is I was pretty much ashamed when I got diagnosed with anxiety, and I was like, okay, you know, that's just impossible because I'm a very fun loving extrovert out there girl, and it's just impossible for someone like me to develop an anxiety disorder. And I was like, I don't believe this. This is like way too different. Like this can't be me, and it was very hard for me to accept. But eventually, like I share everyday stuff of my life out there on the internet because honestly, I just love doing that. I used to share here and there about like how I like the sleepless nights I went through, and those heart palpitations, and then twitching, and then like hair plucking and all those things. Like every time I used to share that about on my story, I won't even like it's unbelievable, but there were many responses that like people suffer from the same thing. And I was like, really? Because what I see on the internet is just like happy, fun, go loving, like all nice and fun things about life. I don't see a lot of people speaking out about this. And so like I've genuinely had one-on-one conversations with these people as to know like what is the anxiety that they probably go through. And it's just so much similar, but it's just that nobody speaks out loud about this because it feels like I don't know, people are ashamed or embarrassed to probably speak about this, because I know I am. So I am sure like a lot of people are like me, who are embarrassed or who are just like don't want to like share this part about their life out there to anyone. But they could confide in me. I mean, I'm just another stranger on the internet, but I just posted a story saying, hey, I have anxiety. And then there were five other people saying, hey, I have anxiety too. How do you deal with it? And I was like, hey, this is what I do. What do you do? And they're like, this is what I do. It's a fun conversation. But again, like, yeah, my whole point being, there's not enough awareness truly in India. There's especially not enough awareness. And uh, what I guess I want to probably like, I don't know, like I'm way all over the place. I'm just like speaking my mind out, and I'm maybe all over the place about this. But what I guess I want to say is, um, yeah, 2021 is when I developed an anxiety disorder, and I had my first panic attack actually. Now you must be wondering, what is it? What is a panic attack, or what is an anxiety thing? Because a lot of people don't understand what exactly it is. So, uh, there was a certain thing that triggered that emotion in me. A certain thing happened on a particular day, and that triggered um, me spiraling. And I my first panic attack was at my place, and like the place where I live, not with my mom and my brother. And I had this amazing frames on the wall, and I could see figures in them. And then I could feel a rush of emotions like coming up from here till my brain. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? And I just started like, there was shortness of breath, and I could not like do a full breath or something. And I was just like, I'm like, something's happening, I need to go to the hospital, I need to go to the doctor. And Sagar was with me, and I just like told him this is what's happening. And I don't know, like there were a lot of emotions uh, piled up during, like before this happened, like a few months before this happened. There were a lot of loss that I saw. And I never like acknowledged grief. uh, so I guess those emotions just like sort of piled up, and that developed into a panic attack. And then I immediately, like, it was like 2:30 ish in the night, and I immediately like went to my mom's house. And I was like, something's happening, something's happening. I don't know what is it. Eventually, those feelings, that rush of feelings settled, but I was still panicked. Like, the after effects of sort of a hangover. Like, it is there. Like, the after effects are still there. And I still could feel that something is wrong. Like, something is just off. Uh, but that was the after effects of a panic attack. And so at like 3:30 at night, I called my sister. She's a doctor. uh, she stays like pretty near to my mother's place. And so I called her. She came in, she checked everything, like all my vitals and stuff, and she's like, everything is normal, your blood pressure is normal, your heart rate is normal, your oxygen is normal. Like, if there was anything abnormal, we could go to a hospital, but there's literally nothing else. So probably what you're feeling is just anxiety or panic. And I was not ready to believe that. I'm like, what the fuck is anxiety or panic? Like, I don't understand this. I have never like understood what anxiety is. I understand it's a fear, but like the whole emotion, I don't think I've ever felt it, so I never understood it. And so she was there with me till 6 in the morning till I could sleep. But that particular month after this incident, this happened in Jan 2020, uh, 2021, and that entire month up until uh, Feb, I was not able to sleep well. I was not able to get out of my house. I could not be left alone. I constantly needed a company. I constantly needed surroundings of my loved ones. I constantly needed to know where my loved ones were. Like my mom, my brother. My brother, on his birthday on 9th of February, he was just out at 12 o'clock with his friends, and till the time he did not come home, I was just waiting. Obviously, he does not know about it because I've never shared this part. But I was like, okay, he's gonna go out with his friends. What if something happens? What if like anything happens, anything bad happens? And so I was just like anxious throughout. And uh like it was bad. I used to wake up and I used to feel okay, the feeling is still there. It was not a dream, it's still there. I used to be at my mom's all the time. I didn't have any courage to even get out of my house. I didn't, because I was just so scared. What if like I get another panic attack, or what if something happens and then nobody's there to like, I don't know, like be with me or be around me? Or I was not ready to let go of my loved ones in their regular lives, because what if something happens to them in their regular lives? So this is where my anxiety had reached. And I had no idea. Like, I can say all of this now because I'm in a better state of mind. But trust me, when this happened, I was like, I am going crazy. This is some crazy behavior. This is some psycho behavior. Like, this is not healthy, not for me, not for uh, my loved ones, or not for anyone around me. Because I, okay, so my sister asked me out one day to go out for dinner, and I was like, I'm not coming without this person being next to me, or I'm not going out, or I'm not driving alone by myself. I will come with everyone there, like, take me everywhere, wherever you guys are going, but don't leave me alone. And this is coming from a person who has been so extrovert throughout her life, that I have I have been a rebel throughout my life. Like, I don't know, like, how do you define that way, but I know, or people around me just know. I've bunked schools, and I've classes, and I've missed so many things. And even during my boards, I was just out there chilling with my friends, and yeah, going to a lounge and chilling with my friends, because that's how I was. Like, next day there was my boards, and I was just chilling because I didn't care. I didn't give a flying fuck in the world. And from that, from a person being that to this person who cannot go out of the house without a company, it was not sitting well with me. So I consulted a therapist. I was talking to her on call. She was not ready to meet. I think she just had a baby or something, or she was pregnant. Maybe, I'm not sure. So she could not like meet, and it was again during the whole COVID scenario. So I used to be on a call with her, but my symptoms, I'll tell you. So these this anxiety manifested into physical symptoms in my body, and if you don't know, or if you've not suffered from anxiety, you would be like, yo, she is just lying, or she's just faking. Or people who with anxiety disorder are just like, it's all in the head, it's never in the body. But it is in the head, and then it is in the body as well. So I had like tunnel vision, which means like I could see like very less of things. And like, things were generally too dark for me, so I used to notice light. Like if there was a area that was lit, I used to be able to notice, oh, that area is lit. And at my house I changed lights and everything, because I was like, we don't have enough lights at our home. So I changed lights during that period, which is so crazy to think about it. And everyone around me is like, everything is normal, like, I don't know, it's just you, but obviously they didn't say it to my face right away. But yeah, so that was my major symptom. Second being, could not sleep. Every night I went to sleep, I was like, I'm gonna die tonight, I'm gonna die tonight, because I felt another panic attack. Maybe another panic attack would come, but it never came. There was that particular 2 months, there was not another uh, panic attack. But so yeah, the therapy, which I did for another month, like in Feb, when all of this was happening, I was like, that's not working out, like, and she clearly told me that if you go on medicines, it's a long route, but you will have to eventually like find the root problem of it. And because I could not take it in, I was like, I cannot take all this daily thoughts, and this just has ruined my everyday life. Like, I cannot do basic things. I mean, I can't go out of the house, or I can't. I stopped eating because I didn't feel like eating. I was like, what is the point of eating? What is the purpose of eating? And so I stopped so many things, like, regular life stuff. And I was like, how is everyone going about their life? And nobody, like, I am here, like, everything feels so unreal. Well, everyone's just having fun in their life, and I'm here, cannot like do basic things. So yeah, that therapy wasn't, it could have helped me, it wasn't helping me then, but I needed to give it enough time. So I mean, no fault of anybody else but my own. All the decisions that I've made for myself are made by me, for me. So I don't blame anyone else. But yeah, I decided in March, uh, with a friend's recommendation, I decided to visit a psychiatrist. And that night, I like literally, it's a funny scene. So there's me with the psychiatrist here in his office, and three of my closest people back behind me. And I'm, usually a session, a therapy session, or a session like this is supposed to be one on one with you and the psychiatrist or the therapist. But here it was like me and my three friends here sitting, and me just talking and venting my heart out. And I told him what has happened in the past 6 months. Like, the major thing, what I thought about it was um my dad's passing, which was barely, it had barely been 6 months to that. And so I thought it's majorly that. And so he put me on medicines, um worked fantastically well. But here comes a twist. Um, me being, I feel I have an obsession as well. I have a problem, obsessive compulsive behavior, I guess, OCD. I realized I have that. I do have that problem. So I keep on checking things. I kept on like googling things, and then I was like, okay, anti-anxiety and antidepressants have their side effects too. And so I was like, I don't trust this. And the therapist that I had before that was right. I mean, I should not have um, gone into medicines, but yeah, I mean, I was like, okay, anyway, it's all right. My psychiatrist, the one who was giving me medicines, he said, you are doing fine, like you're doing better than before. And I genuinely was. I started doing things by myself. I started, like, I have my 10-year-old scooty. I've been riding on my scooty for 10 years. That entire month I didn't go on my scooty because I feared like something would happen. And I, after the medicines, like after 2 weeks or so, I got out of my house. I rode on my scooty alone. I started hanging out with my friends without the need of my certain loved ones being around me all the time. I could sleep well without those thoughts that something's happening, something like, a feeling of doom is happening. So that helped. And I started smiling, hanging out more, having fun more. And I was like, okay, I am doing perfectly well. And so, like, when you're with your anti-anxiety medicines or antidepressants, you're supposed to like finish the course. You're not supposed to leave it midway, because it gets, you get like withdrawal effects of that if you don't like finish your course. So with like with the guidance of my psychiatrist, I finished the entire course in September. So it started from like March 2021 to September 2021. And then life was smooth, life was fun. I mean, it's September, October, November, December, it's all party season, chill season, fun, like, fun things happening. And uh, and so things were fine. 2022 March, I had my friend's wedding. April, a friend from the US had visited. That was fun. Um, May was also doing really well until May 2022. So I was doing pretty well, okay, after the meds. Like, I was okay. I was back to my normal routine life and having fun, chilling, doing all those stuff. May, May 29th, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, May 29th is when I think I started feeling a rush of emotions again. And I was like, I know what this feeling is. I do know it. And it was again another panic attack. It was again some triggering news that I saw online that everybody was talking about. And that affected me a lot more. That affected a lot more people, but it affected me the most because that is my trigger point. And so I was out with a couple of friends because it was a friend's birthday. We heard the news, and you're like, okay, this is sad. This shouldn't have happened. And then everyone moved on. Like, we all went back to like drinking, chilling, partying. But it stayed in my head. And then I came back home, and then the feeling was there for a long, long, long time. It was there for uh, the entire month of June, July, mid. And July was a time when it got really worse, because there were a lot more problems that were happening in my personal life as well, in my family as well. And our living situation was a little fucked up. Um, so yeah, everything, there were a lot of things. I don't want to go into detail of all of that, but yeah, I guess July was the worst. So I was like, okay, I probably need to like I meet. my psychiatrist again. His name is Rahul. I'm just gonna like, call him by his name rather than calling him a psychiatrist again and again. So I was like, it's time to meet Rahul again. And so I went, and I thought it's a relapse. And it's weird. Like, I didn't think that I would get a relapse, but okay, here we are. And he put me on meds again, because this time it was a little more scarier and worse than usual. There were uh, tendencies of self harming behavior that we could see. So, had to be put on medicines again. And I was back on medicines. And now the medicines were working on in a different way for me, because I guess, sometimes your body gets a threshold of a certain thing. Like, for example, for caffeine, if you're taking like you're drinking like 1 cup of coffee every morning, probably after 60 days or 90 days, that 1 cup of coffee won't be enough for you to like wake you up. You'll probably need 2 shots of espresso or coffee. So that's the same case with medicines. Like, your body gets used to it. And so now I could feel more effects of the medicines on me. And I was like, I'm going through depersonalization and derealization, and I never even knew what those terms were until I like, I don't know, like, it happened to me. So depersonalization and derealizations are feelings when you feel unreal or you are having an out of body experience. Like, I used to be with my friends, we were like just probably playing cards, and suddenly I felt, okay, this is not real. I don't feel that I'm in my body. It is spooky. I'm not even kidding, it is spooky, but I felt this. And then in September, when I took my Vietnam trip, I was at the airport and I didn't feel any emotions. I'm like, hey, fuck it, like, it's just another trip, or it's just another thing in my life. But I didn't realize how important and big of a thing it was for me, because I was taking my first international trip. I was going out, like, for the first time. I was going out on my birthday, and like, I was not going to be surrounded by my family or my friends. There was just going to be Sagar and I. And it didn't hit to me until that feeling of personalization left my body. So I was in that zone for a long time. And then at the airport, after the immigration, I was like, okay, the feeling is gone, it has passed. And so I realized, like, after having these experiences, like, Vietnam was crazy. Didn't feel anxious any day of the trip. It was crazy and fun, and truly my best trip ever. Then I came back, I was again my happy self. These emotions like stopped coming in, the symptoms stopped coming in. And then it was time to plan for my best friend's wedding. So I went into that. We had bachelors, we had sangeet practice. uh, and then there was another trip coming in. There was a Kutch White Desert trip coming in. So life suddenly started looking more fun, I guess. And and so and so the feelings of anxiousness went away again, and I was still on meds. Okay. So another thing I want to add here is, when you're probably on anti-anxiety and antidepressants, uh, someone says please हिंदी में बोलो. आई थिंक आई डू अनदर वीडियो ऑन दैट, बिकॉज अभी मैंने इंग्लिश में तो इतना बोल दिया है. अब क्या करूँ मैं? Anyway, so should I continue in Hindi? थोड़ा मिक्स बोलती हूँ, I guess. Anyway, so one thing that anti-anxiety medicines and antidepressants, they do is, they dry out your emotions, which is also called like emotional blunting in medical terms. So you don't feel a lot of emotions. Like, for me personally, who is a very, very emotional person, like, if I cry in Marvel movies. Not the Avengers when Iron Man died. I'm telling you, just normal scenes. छोटे छोटे scenes में I cry. Yade is my favorite movie. I cry at the song of Yade. So I am a very emotional person, and so when I can't feel emotions, I just like uh, feel very weird. So by this time, I had in like I said, I had OCD behaviors. So by this time, I was like, I have enough knowledge about what is happening to me, what are my side effects, what does these medicines do, and like every symptom, like what is it supposed to do. Like I had become the master somehow. Like there were websites that were like, you visited this website on this and this date, and you visited this website on this and this date. I'm like, I know, I am just like regaining information. Every video or every blog that was supposed to be there on the internet about what I was going through, I had read it all. That's again a bad OCD behavior, but I did. And so I knew by that point what was happening. So like I said, I had my best friend's wedding coming up. I wanted to feel all the emotions that I could. I was like, this is a part of my human experience. I want to feel emotion, like all my emotion. Like, I don't know, it might not be a big deal to a lot of you, but it was for a big deal for me. And so I stopped taking my medicines then. I just stopped. And if you've heard me before, I've told you it's not a good idea to like withdraw from your medicines midway. But I stopped and I was on my peak dose at that point. Like I was in a sort of a heavy dose. And so I stopped. And then after the wedding, I was like happy, fun. And after that, I went another wedding, and then I went for my white cut trip, and it was all like very close things, and I was happy throughout. And I was like, okay, you know what, I don't need medicines, I think I have recovered and stuff. uh, but little did I know that, Feb, everything was back again and it was hitting back. So Feb, when my surfing video that you all are waiting for, the reason I'm not I was gatekeeping that particular video or those vlogs was because when I watch those videos or when I'll edit those videos, it will take me back to the moments when I was feeling very panicky in my hostel dorm in Goa. And I was like, I want to take a flight back home. I could not. I heard the Nepal crash happened right before my flight was 2 days before that. And so my anxiety was through the roof. Again, a trigger point for me. So I was like, "Yeah, I can't. I'm not able to probably deal with it." Throughout the flight, I could not calm myself. And so all the anxious feelings were back, and it stayed for a long time until I went uh, to the surfing thing. Sagar had a flight back home, so he left. I was supposed to stay 4 more days because I wanted to like learn surfing. So I booked my flight for 4 days later. And so I was supposed to be by myself. And if you know like my story till now, you would know that when I am in this zone of anxiousness or heightened anxiety or panic zone, whatever you want to call it, I feel weird staying by myself. I feel something may happen, or I feel I want to be surrounded by people who I love and care. So, when Sagar had a flight back, he left, and I was here in my hostel dorm all by myself. And I had like my morning 7 a.m. wake up call, 8 o'clock was my surf class. I was like, I want to go home. I can't do it. I don't have it in me to do it. I barely like can. I could not sleep the entire night. I was awake. Somehow I slept for a few hours, I guess, and then I woke up and I was like, I want to skip my surfing class. It's all right. Like, okay, what is the worst that could happen? Uh, but I was like, let's just go. Let's just take one step at a time because I had also learned a few things. Like, I can't let my mind take over. I need to be the one taking over and stuff like that. So I was like, let's take one step at a time. Let's just get out of the room. Let's just get on a scooty. Let's just watch the sunrise at least. And so, one step at a time, I did. I reached the beach and did my first surf lesson. That literally, I mean, I'm not even kidding. That lesson literally, like, I don't know, cleared a part of me, like all the feelings of anxiousness just went away, that after one particular session. And I was like, okay, I have gained my confidence back. This is fun, this is nice, I can do this. But evening came in, and again I was all by myself. And so I was watching the sunset, and I texted Rahul again, my psychiatrist, and I was like, "Hey, when are you like free to talk? I need to talk." And he's like, whenever you wanna call me." So I was like, "Okay, let me go back home and I'll call him then." And but I was fine. I was fine. So the feelings went away, the anxiety feelings went away. And by this time, I was following a few certain YouTubers and Instagram creators. I think if you are someone who suffers probably from anxiety or stuff like that, you should follow these people. There's Cheryl Things on Instagram. She deals with health anxiety. There's Shan on YouTube, who helps in uh, with recovery and how to not let panic take over your life. There's a healthy push on Instagram. There's the anxiety MD. He has a podcast, he has a YouTube, he has his Instagram as well. Like, I leave all these I don't know, handles and stuff on of these people in the description of whatever this thing is, or you can just like DM me on Instagram. I'll share those because I've share the handles to a lot of people. These people really, like, I mean, they were god for me, because they posted every day, and they had their tips and tricks and stuff, like how to deal with things like this. And I used to follow that, and that really helped me so much, uh, until one day when I was like, okay, this is not something I think I can deal by myself again. At this point, by this point, I understood what I have developed is, so there's anxiety, and then there are categories that comes under anxiety. I think I had developed a health anxiety disorder, um, meaning that I was constantly worried that something may happen to me, even though I did all my checkups. I got my entire body checkup. I got my eye test done. I got my everything, every possible thing. And I used to be at the doctor's at least once a week, because I felt there's something happening. And he used to be like, everything's fine. So I realized that it is just health anxiety that I have developed. And I also know why. So now I know what I have, better, clarity on how to deal with it. And yeah, so this particular day in May, heard a news again about someone tragic, and that triggered me so much. And so I went back home, could not sleep that night, did my meditation, did my breath work, nothing was helping. And then the next day I was back to doing my packing, because I was supposed to leave for the cruise. And that entire day I just slept, because every time I woke up or every time I was awake, I used to feel panic. I was on a very heightened anxiety emotion. And so, when at this point I can say this, but at that point I was like, this feels like A heart attack? I don't know. Does it? Because this is the feeling that I don't understand. And I let that entire day pass, still could not feel better. And next day was my cruise. I was supposed to be there at 1 p.m. At 12 o'clock I am at my doctor's. And I was like, maybe because I'm going on a cruise, and I may not get any like great medical help there, so I went to a normal like family doctor. I was like, maybe just like, if there's something wrong, is my blood pressure high or something, uh or like, do we see sickness or something or anything, maybe, which is why I'm feeling certain things. He checked everything again, and nothing. He found nothing, and he knows me and my family like since I was a kid, and he knows what are the things that has happened in my life. So he told me to consult my psychiatrist right away before I go on this trip. And even though I was like, I do not want to get on my medicines again, he was like, you need to be on that. And so call Rahul again, call my psychiatrist again. He yelled at me a bit because I was like, he was like, you stopped your medicines midway. You're not supposed to do that. And he was leaving from his clinic, but he waited. I actually like literally requested him to wait and meet him before I go on this trip. So he met me, he waited half an hour, and then I reached there at 1 o'clock, spoke to him. He said, this is your pattern. This is the third time you're coming to me with this same pattern, same problems. So, what we're going to do is calm your emotions down, calm your anxiety down first, and then we're going to deal with the root issues. I took the medicine that he gave me right away. Half an hour later, I have been feeling the most normal ever. And so I knew it was anxiety again, playing with my mind and stuff. Hmm. So, yeah, this is June right now. It's been a month since this incident. It happened right, like, pretty recently. It was in May 2023. And how I am currently dealing with my health anxiety. So this was my entire story of how I probably like got anxiety, uh, or my journey of anxiety. But this is how I am dealing with it right now, is by following these certain few people, giving their like doing the exercises whatever they are giving, and with the help of my medicines. I'm not skipping any medicines. But what I also want to do is I want to start a CBD therapy, uh, which is cognitive behavior therapy. Uh, so I'm gonna like, I'm actually looking for someone who deals especially with health anxiety, because there are not a lot of doctors here that I found deals just specifically with health anxiety disorder. And so I want to like, I'm looking for that while also working on these things. So yeah, that's about it. This is how I am dealing, I guess. Oh, I spoke for 43 minutes straight. Can't believe that. Anyway, I guess this is what I wanted to come and share um, in my stream. Like, this is the most raw and honest I am and I ever was, I guess, in my life. Sagar, we love you. Now come back home. I'm waiting for you. We're supposed to have dinner together. Anyway, I'm just gonna end the stream. And if you guys have like any questions, like probably comment down below or DM me if it's too personal to post it here on the internet. You can just like probably talk to me. I'm all yours, because I know in moments like this you honestly need just someone to hear you out. So yeah, I guess I'm all yours about that. Anyway, I'll see you guys soon. Hope you have a great weekend. Bye bye, and take care of yourself. How do I end this?